These two teams are the 2 and 3 seed. Graham Rogers ended up beating Biggie Smalls in pool play in 2 games.
2 games.
So this is going to be the 2 Graham Rogers versus the 3 Biggie Smalls. And Biggie Smalls is coming off of a pitcher from last weekend. So this is...
it's a nice little momentum coming into the weekend.
Yeah. This is also the first tournament back for Twinz since Richmond.
Yes. And a great lefty there to just start off the game with a little hold from Allie and Becca. So Katie and who was the higher seed?
It's going to be Graham Rogers.
Graham Rogers. Okay, so they chose to receive. And looks like good choice. Held. Up the mini here.
Rogers here to serve. Maybe one of the most formidable servers on this net.
Yeah, definitely. Got a lot of serve pressure, a decent amount of options. Her cut's good. Got a little reverse, I think, coming in, so we'll see. We got some fakes there, and just a banger. Unbelievable.
Nice wide serve from Alli Rogers to start their possession here.
You've got to love when you say something about like serving or whatever, and then they just pop off.
It's the commentator's curse.
It's 100%.
You're going to learn.
Yeah, that's tough. Okay, Katie opts not to play that. Interesting, because it's very playable. We might see that become a theme. So we got 2-0. Alli Rogers serving Katie, and just a looks like they have a dispute about whether that's front rim or clean. Really low serve. I thought potentially rim, and we'll go to our wonderful observers who made a rim call. Now Allie Foster will get a chance to serve. First serve of the game for Biggie Smalls. It's a really good serve there. Allie rotates around, and a great backhand from Becca, and that's another really good hold there off a great serve by Allie. That's
Allie
big.
really got the jam almost,
Yeah.
but Becca's seen a lot of those in her time.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so you gotta opted not to play that.
If you don't want it,
Katie with the cheeky little late catch. I do love seeing people do that. It always cracks me up. Go through and great serve there. Katie goes on 2. Becca gets that up, and Allie puts it away.
It looks like it could have been rim on that hit, so it looks like they Biggie Smalls wanted to call that maybe, but I guess it was just a fantastic put away from Alli Rogers.
Server's called clean. Okay, so Becca's up, serving for the first time, up 4-1. It's really nice to be serving up as your first serve. You know, you can come in kind of with the momentum as well as just like some confidence to swing and do what you want to do. It's a good receive from Katie. Good set from Allie, and just a really great put away. 1, 2, 3.
Very textbook put away for Katie Pierson here. Allie Foster is one of the best setters in the realm.
Yeah.
And that's a great matchup for Katie Pierson.
So Katie.
Little ball switch here. Some people can be really picky.
Yeah, you got to get the right ball in your hands. Semis, looking for that next pitcher. So Katie swings on her first serve. We'll see a play there from Graham Rogers, and sets that a little off net to Becca's left, and she tries to pull it, and she just doesn't have the angle for that pull. It's a good attempt there. Sometimes it's really hard to judge whether to take the shot that's open or the shot that you think you can make, and you're just balancing those percentages.
Becca Graham is known for her consistency, but it looks like that whole play was maybe a little bit whack, and they were off, off kilter.
Yeah, a little bit of interesting play there, just kind of off. Totally agree.
Yeah, you want to be in control of the point when you play like a bad serve, but it looks like they just weren't in control that one. That's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you? Yeah. Like, big serve from Katie Pierson here.
Come on,
and an offset. Looks like once again they weren't in control of that.
Yeah, totally, and that's a big break. Getting back to 4-4 after going down, that's great to break back early. That's super big. So Katie will set back up for her, I think, 3rd serve in a row here.
Goes with the instep.
Yep.
A big bull shot from Becca Graham, but it looks like Allie Foster can't get to that touch from Katie.
Katie makes a touch. Allie can't get there, so that'll be a hinder. Becca trying to get out of the way, just couldn't do anything about it. Katie back up serving 4-4.
Another big instep, but it hits the front rim this time.
Probably want that first serve back. Nothing worse than a redo and then you don't serve well. You know, when you serve
you
well
lose
the first
point,
time. Yeah, that's brutal.
At least it's a redo and it was from first serve.
Yes, totally.
And when you're Katie Pierson, it's okay because you hit
Yes.
banger serves like that.
Oh,
but
nice.
Becca Graham says no thanks.
Yeah, Becca reading that defense super well and just taking that shot's wide open. You take it. If you see it, you have to take it there.
Absolutely. And it looks like Biggie Smalls was a bit far off from the net. So I hit a big hit when that's wide open.
Absolutely. Here we go. And good serve there from Allie. Rotates. And I think that was a rim.
Yeah, it looks like the set kind of jammed Allie Foster a little bit here. So now that'll be Alli to serve, Alli Rogers to serve once more. 6-4.
Steps out, looking for it, fakes a little bit. Nice little bit of a cut there. And Katie clearly frustrated with that. Set kind of back towards her left hand. You won't see Katie swing lefty a lot. She'll go to that backhand. She can actually push or pull it with that backhand. She's pretty experienced, but just couldn't quite find that ball.
This is Alli Rogers to serve again, 7-4. If you're Biggie Smalls, you want to get out of this situation right now.
Ooh, and a great lefty there, and a good set, and Allie Foster rotates around beautifully to put that away. That was a really good, it was a lefty serve, right?
It was a lefty.
Great left. She didn't get a ton of respect from Foster on it, but she made the jump to make a touch, and Katie set that. So
Rogers hits those. She absolutely does.
Yeah.
And I thought that Foster wasn't quite there.
Yep, I agree. Good set there, and Allie just swings through the open. They can't quite close that. It's a good play on both sides. All right, so Becca back up to serve. We have 8-5, and that will be high. For anyone watching who's not familiar with the rules, the height of the serve has to be below the serve receiver's shoulders in an athletic stance, so that's why they don't have to play that ball. That one is better. Allie sets from high. Katie just puts that away. Not a ton of action on that defense. So no one really rotated around. That was just kind of gave him a lane, so Katie takes it.
Graham looked like she was coming around to maybe be in front of it, just didn't quite get there, and Rogers was waiting on a pole pretty far back, so they couldn't close any curtains there. They were very open.
Yep. Katie is one to put the ball away really consistently when you give her an option like that, so good for her making that play.
Looks like it was a little bit of a reverse there, and she does the hand motion for it, which is not expected at all out of Katie Pierson here, who's known for her big righty serves.
Yes.
Always.
So there's a consistent serve, and looks like we might get a side call on that.
Interesting choice from Pierson when she's down, but maybe it was the time to try to pull something new out when most of her serves are just big righties out of different stances.
Right.
Oh, speaking of reverses, we see an attempt here from Rogers, but it doesn't quite make the net.
So Rogers will set back up for a second serve, step out, probably see something, kind of a consistent serve there, and catches a little bit of that back rim on the way out. So Foster gets a chance to get some breaks here, 7-9. And a banger of a serve. Becca rotates around nicely for the set, and Allie puts that away. That's a really, really great play, just in system by Becca and Allie off a serve that put some pressure on. Allie handles it. Becca rotates to get across from her on the net to be able to set Allie with a lot of options, and they just are able to play that through.
Oh my goodness.
Becca wants some of those serve pressure serves herself here, and she can pull them out for sure. Not happy with her. There's one, and Katie swings away on that ball. Another good set from Foster for sure.
I know Katie Pierson is one of the most consistent practicers and players here. So that double fault she did one round ago, she's not going to want that again.
Yeah. We see her step out and hit a really consistent serve there. And they both kind of rotate into position there on defense with Allie and Katie. Katie takes that touch away. I think she was running a good funnel there, just kind of caught her in a weird spot.
And Graham is so good at that last-minute decisions, taking some speed off that hit so that it wasn't soft touchable.
Yep.
Big serve from Alli Rogers here.
We got Becca on the chase down. Allie sets over her shoulder, and Becca can't quite get it on. That's a good touch there from Becca, kind of brings it about halfway. And Allie kind of puts that where she's approaching the net in a weird spot to make that play. But we love to see some defensive touches here. We love to see them out running a good funnel there, making, you know, the ability for your off-net defensive player to be there. And Becca did make that touch, so hopefully get some conversions. And there we see just an on-serve from Allie Foster. Great touch there from Allie Foster, and she can't quite dink it on. That's a pretty good set there from Katie. She's running away, trying to push that ball back. I think she turns her hips and actually kind of pushes it not over her shoulder but forward. And definitely a hard play for Foster to make there, but a nice touch, rotating around.
Yeah, now we've seen 2 plays in a row where we've had touches outside of the serve circle area.
And we have a soft touch there, and it's just too quick. So really quick, and you see that a lot on those soft touches. It's really hard to slow down from the nerves of like, oh, I got to touch defense to make like a slow set to someone who's far off net.
Yeah. What I tell my partner is, if you're going to miss, at least miss high. I mean,
love that.
If Becca had missed that, but at least high, maybe Rogers could have come back to put that back on. But having a ball that is low and quick is not going to help you out almost anywhere, I don't think. Much better to just have slow, controlled touches here, which are going to dial in as this game goes on.
So we've got 10-12, Katie serves, and a little bit of a short set there from Allie, and Becca takes a step and puts that away really nicely. So Allie up serve hits a nice bowl. Katie steps off. Becca runs out, makes a touch. We got kind of a similar situation here to earlier. Becca tries to chip that on from about 10, 12 feet off and can't quite make it.
That's another play here mid-game where players are running out, getting those touches, but not quite making the conversion. And I think that as this game goes on, there are going to be more of them that come together.
Allie hits a banger there. Becca rotates to set it and can't. Rogers can't quite get back around to it. That's a really great serve pressure there.
Yeah, and Foster has been hitting those serves this year. Big, fast jams and cuts that really are, I don't know how to describe it other than fast. And the cuts can be so spinny, it's hard to figure out which one is coming to you.
There's another kind of fastball, and they opt to play that. Becca drops short. Katie picks it up and hits through the open. And that's a couple breaks in a row for Foster and Pierson, which puts them back at, I think, now 13-13, tying up this game.
This is huge for them, starting the game off down 1-4.
And another good leave there by Foster. Another kind of attempt at maybe a cheeky play on the net, which you maybe not see as much from the consistency queens at Graham Rogers.
It may be a good time to take a timeout here with Foster now serving for maybe the third, fourth time in a row.
Ooh, and a good touch there by Foster. Katie sets, and
so it looks like there was a no-hit zone call on Graham Rogers. But what did I say about those conversions? That they would happen, and they would happen soon, right? So it looks like Graham Rogers is going to take a timeout here after a no-hit zone call on them.
Yeah, and that's probably, you were already saying call for the timeout. You know, you've got a little momentum swing. Foster hits a couple good serves. Then we've got a no-hit zone call. And after, you know, those things, you really just want to reset the momentum, take a minute, gather yourself. And GR hasn't been playing necessarily their kind of consistent game. And so it's time to take that time out, reset, and then come back into this. They have the ability to clutch this up, you know, when they need to, and they've done that in a lot of games for, you know, they've both been playing for a really long time, and so, you know, they know what they need to do in this situation.
They have been teammates for about 8 years or something like that.
That's so cool.
A ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah.
And they know each other's games so well.
Yeah.
So we know that they have the potential to bring this back. What do you think it's going to take?
You know, I think it's just the same thing we were talking about earlier, like the consistency and, like you mentioned earlier, the control of each point. It looked like they were in control for the first half there on a lot of those points, and then these last couple breaks, after either getting a bad touch or just a set that didn't feel right, they definitely didn't feel in control of the game. It really felt like Katie was in control of that game for a little bit there after some serve pressure by Foster, and then Katie just good putaways.
Foster looks confident out here, too, after hitting so many great serves in a row and getting so many breaks, where it's usually Katie Pierson who gets a lot of breaks off of her serve.
Yep.
Yeah, I think for those last couple points, it seemed like it was like they were very anxious.
Yeah,
They're like
a little shaken.
A little, yeah, and that's, you know, that happens to all of us.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, that's why I think a timeout was pretty necessary there to just reset and say, like, hey, let's play our game.
Absolutely.
Like, because they can absolutely play a game. They've been in so many finals. They've won so much in their careers. So this is, you know, they can do this.
Yep. A nice, you know, sometimes a nice thing about a timeout is you ice the server. So we'll see if Foster can get her second on. She gets a nice on 2, and a nice hit there from Allie. Just put that ball away right along Becca, who makes a little dodge to make sure it doesn't hit her there.
And that's great team chemistry right there.
Absolutely.
Knowing exactly where Rogers is going to put it and then just getting out of the way.
Becca goes for a drop, which Katie handles, and Katie just, again, hits the open there.
That was a nice high ball there. It looked like Rogers was once again in Pierson's pull. And that just was not the shot, because Katie saw that it was so open and just hit it high and far.
Yeah. That off-net defense, you really have to dial it in per player, which, you know, you have to find in each game. They played enough this season. They probably kind of know what they need to do, or they're thinking about that at least. So Katie steps out, up 2 breaks, serving confident, nice jam there. Becca goes for the backhand. You actually see Katie. Nice backhand put away by Rogers there. Sorry, not Rogers, Graham. But you see Katie actually take off for that because she reads that, and she's played Becca enough this season to know when that shot's coming. So good read by Katie. Great put away by Becca.
It's going to be 5-6 here with Rogers on her second serve.
Down 1, goes to second. Got to go consistent here, down a break, and that's a good, consistent low cut, and a good read, and a good, pretty good set there. Yes, another touch by Pierson. Foster sets beautifully. Another quick touch, and a great low put away. Just a beautiful rally. Let's see if we can see that again. And there's that great set from Graham. Rogers puts it away, and then a great quick touch by Rogers to just keep this play alive, and another quick set by Graham.
And that's where I think that the experience that Graham Rogers has is really coming through in these big rallies where they can say, like, we're still in this. We're going to win this point right now.
Absolutely.
Super
hard to stand in that kind of scramble situation, to stay confident and just make the plays that you need to play. So that's big.
Yeah.
That's a great break. Ties this game up.
Yeah, that was a huge point for them. And now they're going to have to hold here with Allie Foster to serve to Becca Graham.
So we've got 17-16, steps out, hits a nice cut. Kind of a jammy set there by Rogers, and Graham with a good put away. Foster collapsed on that and gets a touch, and it launches over to the other side of the net. That's a great hold.
Great hold there.
So Graham's back up, hits a nice left, a nice funnel there, beautiful touch, and a good a little short set. Nice quick hit with the lefty there, and that's just consistency, right? That's just reading that set, rotating around, You got to have your footwork right. There's so much that goes into just putting that ball away. Looks like we have a call on that, potentially rim on the hit, but we have clean from observers. So that'll be a point for Graham Rogers, putting them up 18-17. Becca serving at Pierson. Graham serving at Pierson. So we'll get the second serve here. We'll see kind of how hard she goes on this swing. You're up a break. We got a little bit of a rim.
Looks like Katie Pierson calls rim on that, where Graham Rogers thinks that's clean. So it was nice and low, but Becca can't hit those.
We get that call approved by the observers.
So it's all tied up again with Pierson serving 18-18. Becca Graham receiving.
You've got to think she goes for the flango reverse.
It's the best serve in the game.
At 18-18, and a good cut there. Handled, great set, and a nice put away. Foster collapsed on that beautifully, just can't quite make the touch. You see both of them just playing their game there. Katie on the net, Foster collapsing on that outside, and Graham Rogers just playing in system. So that's kind of just an in-system point, could go either way.
Graham Rogers definitely looks like they are playing their game right now and not worrying about Biggie Smalls, if that makes sense.
Great lefty ace there. That's beautiful. And how big is that going into this final point off of an ace? Big for confidence.
Huge game point here with Rogers to serve.
Rogers serving Pierson. 20-18. Goes for the left again. Doesn't find it.
Pierson was jumping for it, though.
You
have to respect it.
Yeah, especially after your partner just got aced by it. You kind of either jump or risk looking bad on stream. And losing game one. And that will be a little put-on drop. And that didn't connect, caught a little rim. And so 19-20, Graham Rogers can hold here to win the game. And that's just a banger of a serve and a great set. Katie sits on that. She makes a touch and swings with her lefty and just can't find it from an off-net set there. And that's a great game one.
We had a lead to start and then a lead change.
Right.
And then we had another lead change. And the final score of that game is 21-19.
So close. By looking at the final score, in Flango or wherever, you wouldn't know that game could have gone either way at multiple points.
Exactly, yeah.
If you don't call a clutch timeout, if you don't get that ace at the end to go up from, right there at the end.
Yeah, lefty on two. Maybe you have to talk about that timeout right there, because that was the start of a change of pace, really, of this game. Yeah, it looked like at the end there, Graham Rogers was able to really play their own game, keep level heads, and come back and win that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just great play there by Graham Rogers. We're going to go to a 2-minute break, and we'll be right back with Game 2 of the women's semis.
Who want to test their skills against great competition. The top 4 teams from Contender will qualify for Premier. This division plays with a no-hit zone. Premier. Well, you've made it to the end, the best of the best. If you're unsure if you qualify for this division, you probably don't. But feel free to sit back and enjoy this insane rally from our Premier animals. See you soon.
Hampton Farms peanuts, roasted with delicious flavor inside the shell. Available in salted, unsalted, and Cajun hot in the produce section of a grocery store near you. Shell, yeah.
And we're back with Game 2 of women's semis. Graham Rogers takes Game 1 in a close match and a battled match. It goes back and forth. Just a lot of good round out. We had touches. We had a couple aces even right there at the end. Super exciting game. Had a lot of fun watching that. Ready for Game 2. And so are the players. So Graham Rogers, I think actually, I don't know who chose to serve here. I was going to say I did, but I'm not going to lie, I don't know. I think
maybe
Pierson may have opted to serve.
The thing that I think would happen is Graham Rogers would defer.
Right.
And then they would choose to receive because they have been holding really well, putting the ball away, and just being really in system. Like that was a beautiful set from Alli Rogers right there. Just the perfect height and the perfect timing for Becca Graham to get there and just put that away.
Yeah.
This is what you want here, is you getting that first one.
Yes. Pick up some momentum.
And then having Alli Rogers
and a great
serve.
touch there. Becca sets out a little bit short, and Rogers can't get back to it. That's a good play.
It looks like she had a little slip back there.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a hard time getting up and getting back to the net.
But a touch.
Yeah.
That counts.
You know, we want touches. We want
absolutely
21 touches a game.
That is a statistic.
Yeah. And a good handled serve there. Becca pushes that a little bit. Good touch by Foster. Rotates around really well. Gets the body up. And I think her momentum's just going backwards. She can't get moving forwards to make the soft touch there.
That was a quick play here from Graham Rogers. Graham just putting that set right on that rim.
And Graham handles that hit by Katie. And we have a 1-2-3 put away by Graham, putting them up 3-1 early in this game. And we actually saw them go up early in Game 1 as well. So you can't count anyone out, but it's nice to have that lead. They look like they're playing their game.
Looks like there was a high call from Biggie Smalls on that lefty from Becca Graham. Observers are looking at it now, but from our angle, it looked clean to me, at least.
I didn't see high. I don't know if it was maybe a rim call. We do have high from observers. Okay. That's why I have observers.
Absolutely.
So Graham serving her second serve. That one's good. Katie's setting kind of off, and Foster can't really hit that ball because Becca rotates into a defensive position that hinders her. So we've got a hinder call from Biggie Smalls, Pierson Foster, which will mean that Graham gets to serve again.
That's the question. Yeah, it's redo. Redo? Yep. I think it was unavoidable. All right, I got you. 3-1.
So Graham serving again, and Katie hits on two into Foster. And that's just, you know, a play that she thought she had that opening, and maybe a little bit of shaken up from that last play, and makes kind of a questionable hitting decision there.
A hit on two is not super characteristic of Pierson,
No.
especially a bad one,
Right.
hitting right into her partner.
Right. And with the defender there as well, it's really not an open lane hit that you kind of mess up. Kind of a quicker set there from Foster. Pierson has a chance to put that away. Sometimes those quicker sets are a blessing in disguise if you get to them, because it means that the other team doesn't have a chance to rotate into the positions to make that play. So.
And that set was in a great spot for Pierson to just flick that away, because that is one of the shots that Pierson can do really, really well.
Absolutely. That backhand flick.
Mm-hmm.
That's Katie Pierson's signature shot, trademark. Ooh, and a handled serve there. Great set by Allie. Becca pulls that, and Allie Foster's sitting on it. And a great set there by Katie, and Foster just pulls that ball again. Beautiful pull, and just a great play all around. That's a good break for them.
This is a huge break for them, especially when Graham Rogers was up in Game 1, lost the lead, and then gained it back. They wanted to have this lead and then keep it for the entire game, and not have Biggie Smalls gain on them like this.
Not have another swing back and forth that might make you a little bit nervous.
It is early game, though, and anything can happen. Games of 21 can be long or short.
Yeah, that's true. It can be over in the first 5 breaks. That just stays that way the whole game, or you can swing back super late in the game, even in extras.
Absolutely.
I'm cheering for extras every time. Any game, I always want extras, unless I'm playing in it.
More round net is always a gift.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll have
Yes.
Rogers serving this 5-3. So still up 2 breaks. Goes for a really low cut and has clean. And the other team will call rim. That'll go to observers who have rim as well. I had rim. So
I also
these
did.
observers are so smart when they agree with me. Only then.
Goes
Okay.
for some fakes
Goes-
here.
Oh,
but
fakes.
Wow.
And hits a good cut through that inside lane on the net. Just rolls off the top of Pierson's hand.
I don't know if Pierson was ready for such an aggressive second serve here
Right.
from Rogers, but she can do that so
Right.
consistently.
And you got to think that's part of their game plan, too, is that she kind of stays aggressive
Mm-hmm.
in these games where you're up and you have that opportunity to. We see more fakes. And Katie lays out for that set off a bad touch on a good serve. Another great serve. And that ball goes up off Katie, but nowhere near the net.
Rogers is just firing here with 2 big cuts in a row.
Yeah. She's obviously found a groove. She steps out. She's faking. She'll swing again. Hits a little bit of a reverse, maybe, or a
Going for that
push.
reverse.
That's a nice
You
serve.
really have to think that was a reverse.
You do.
She said,
It
I'll
looked
hit a
good.
cut, another cut,
Absolutely.
and while they're scared of the cut, I'm going to go for this reverse.
Swing for it. I mean, you're up 4. She was up 4 breaks at that point. And, you know, you hit a couple cuts in a row, you get bored every once in a while, you got to hit a reverse. So she goes for the lefty. She's saying, I have every serve option. But it is handled, and a good put away there from Pierson Foster as Biggie Smalls. Allie got in a lot of good serves, though. You've got to think those are making the highlight reel.
Absolutely.
She said cut, cut, reverse, lefty, and they were all beautiful. So good serve receive there by Foster. Foster goes short. Graham sets, got that backhand put away, just super in system and clean.
And what a way to kind of kick off these first points of this second game here to remind Biggie Smalls, I have this, and
Right.
this, and don't forget a drop maybe.
And then Graham hits a beautiful jam as well. Just firing on all cylinders here. And here's where, you know, we were talking earlier about Graham Rogers. Oh, and another good serve. Do we have a rim call there? No, that's good. And as I was going to say, I hit him with the commentator's curse. You've got to call a timeout in that situation. You know, you drop a couple breaks in a row, you get the ball back in your hands, you get held, and you drop another break. That's when it's time to curb the momentum. And we saw Graham Rogers do that in Game 1 with great effect, coming back to win that game from down 15-13. And so we'll see if Biggie Smalls can get that same momentum swing here that they're looking for.
And they have the serves on their side, too. I'm wondering if Biggie Smalls was maybe a little bit shaken by those serves from Rogers.
Yeah.
And then they think that they can handle Graham better.
Right.
And Graham says, I'm not going to be outshone by my teammate,
Yes.
and I can hit some
Yes,
also.
absolutely.
Opting for some different serves,
Yeah.
but they work the same. An ace is an ace.
Yes, that's true. That's a nice jam. I mean, that jam is as hard to receive or harder than a cut a lot of the time. If a cut hits you in the right hand out here and you kind of handle it, you can get a little carry on that now. Whereas a jam hits you, it kind of hit Katie like right in the middle of the chest. That's super hard to receive. You don't know which hand to go to. And so we're going to be coming back from this timeout here.
They were just receiving serves with their arms outstretched. And then
Right.
when you get hit with a jam, you
Exactly.
forget.
The lefty, the reverse,
That
all
they
outside your
exist,
body,
yes.
and then it hits you, almost in the face, not at that level, but coming, and it's a little bit difficult.
It's scary.
So Graham back up to serve, switches with a little bit of a fake. Good set there by Foster, and a textbook put away by Pierson. That's exactly what you want coming out of a timeout, is to get that hold and to feel good about your gameplay.
Graham Rogers does have rim on Pierson's hit here, so we're going to see what the observers say.
I was wondering if that, okay. All right, we have a clean call from observers there. So get that hold. Pierson up to serve, 5-11. Sounds confident. Good serve there, but an in-system play, and what a touch. And a nice 1-2-3 after making a great defensive touch on that. And that's, like I said, this is exactly textbook what you want coming out of a timeout. You want to hold, you want to put on a good serve, and then get touches or get an ace. And they made a touch there. I'd honestly rather have a touch than an ace.
We like rallies.
We like rallies.
Did you know that the R in women's round net is for rallies?
No way. That's clutch. Oh, and another touch there. Foster off net, and she's coming back. Pierson sets that a little bit over, and Foster coming back doesn't opt to dive or make a play on that ball. She doesn't think that she has an opportunity to convert that.
She is cleatless right now.
That's true. That's a good point and an interesting point.
And I've also never seen Allie Foster dive. Or at least for a set like that.
Yeah, right.
Big lefty here from Alli Rogers, but that looks like side, which is another opportunity for Rogers to do some stuff or Pierson and Foster to do some stuff.
And we see Rogers switch her stance as well. She steps out, tries to get wide, tries to go for a looks like a big cut, and catches a little bit of pocket, so that'll be high. And Foster gets her first opportunity to serve since the quick break, and she'll see if she can do some damage here in the second half of this game. Well, it could be second half. We don't know. Could be the first half still. We could have extras. This game could go to 30.
Imagine that.
Good put on kind of jam there. Good. Oh, and Rogers goes to hit that. She drops it, which is maybe an interesting decision there with kind of a lane open, and so we have a hinder on that.
Actually looks like Graham hit herself with that.
Oh, unbelievable.
Didn't drop the ball enough.
Yeah.
But ran into Foster anyway for,
happens to me constantly.
Yeah.
In pickup, in tournaments, 24/7. I'm dropping the ball and then taking it. I'll be so excited with that kind of run-through drop, which is a nice play a lot of the time, and I just won't mind my feet, and I'll launch the ball.
Absolutely.
A good put on there again from Foster, and a great rotation to a set that's across the net from her by Rogers there to put that ball away with the backhand. Graham has, go ahead.
Rogers' backhand is so low. It is.
That's true.
I'm surprised that Pierson got a touch because it's usually just so undefendable.
We see an opt to play that ball. Katie puts the ball away right by two defenders.
Pierson running into Becca Graham this time saying, "Why did you run into my partner? You can have that right back."
We'd love
play.
to see it.
Good play.
Love to see it. So Pierson up to serve. 9-13. They've got a couple breaks back here. Graham handles that serve and finds the open with that hit. That's a really nice set from Rogers to give her that option to push it through that open. And good footwork on the net as well to adjust your hips to be able to hit that open. Whereas pulling or kind of backhand pushing that ball would be right at Pierson or Foster. So we've got Rogers serving and a really good low cut serve there. And Pierson oversets that ball a little bit off kind of a tough touch by Foster on a really good serve. Another really good cut serve from Rogers.
She does hit them hard.
Yeah.
And often.
Yeah, she's been going at it. See it more fakes there, maybe pushes that one a little bit. And a nice low backhand from Pierson.
Let's give Rogers a little credit here. I think that was a reverse, and I might not have the best angle, but I know she was going for it at least.
I'm going to give it to her. I'm going to give her a mini reverse.
There we go. But it's handled really well.
Caked.
Yeah, with Rogers and Graham, actually, both of them. You really have to have both hands ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Both hands are deadly.
Both,
as they say.
As they say, absolutely.
They.
Shout out Preston Back.
Yes. So we got 10-15, another just really good consistent put on. And did I hear a CO on that? Maybe it was in my head. Anyway, see ya by Graham as she puts that ball away through the lane.
That's another time that Becca Graham has pushed that ball.
Yeah.
And this time the defenders were closer.
Yes.
But still.
They're narrowing in.
She's trusting her shot, which it's an amazing shot.
Yeah. So Graham hits front rim there at 16-10, so it becomes 11-10 16. Pierson up to serve. Down 5 breaks. It's getting late in the game. It's getting for the point where you're going to be swinging not for singles, but for at least triples and maybe some home runs here.
Absolutely.
You've gotta play tough. You've got to try to get touches and have some serve pressure. So we'll see Katie swing, and you see there she swings hard for that ball, doesn't find the net, and I think we'll see her, put the ball on with kind of that mid serve with keeping some pressure on, not just going for an on serve here, keeping some pressure on. And then they'll try to grind on defense here. Good set from Rogers. Foster tracks that down. And a good set from Pierson on the near side of the net. Great touch again. And a good pull. Oh, and Katie makes a touch there. Foster moves out for it, but can't get under that ball quickly enough.
Looks like the ball could have hit off of Foster's knee, so maybe that was the set, which made Foster maybe give up on that last ball, because there's a very low chance you're getting that back onto the net.
And
First
just a great drop.
Yep, go,
and we'll see a high pull. And I think Rogers wants that ball. We see a little grimace there. She's like, "Give me that ball." And it was a good read there by Rogers. Graham was kind of sitting on that pole and tries to take off, can't get under it. So Foster will get a chance to serve. Again, like I said, late in the game, she'll be swinging here. Would love to see some aces. Steps back, goes for maybe a jam or an instep cut. And I think we'll see her go on here. She's been on all game with this. Oh, and she swings hard, doesn't find it. Man, I think she heard me. She was like, "Despite Jake, I'm swinging on this ball," because we've been seeing her consistent. I don't think she, has really a double fault when she's going for that really consistent on serve on 2. But like I said, late in the game, I don't know if that's part of the plan for Biggie Smalls. And a great serve there by Rogers. Good pull. Rogers with a really good set. Oh, Foster kind of carries that around, but can't push it towards the net. Again, another good play, and that's a good set by Katie, but Foster hits that ball a little bit high, and it gives Rogers a chance to track it down and make a touch, and just a beautiful set by Graham. And we got a little confusion on the net of places. And now we have 19-12, Graham serving. Oh, and a nice fake there. Katie steps on it, and then she hits the left. Katie bumping into Rogers on her follow through there. And Katie will not back off the ball.
Absolutely
If she
not.
wants a shot, she is going to take it, and we love to see that.
That's fine.
Absolutely.
I mean, playing aggressive is what Biggie Smalls needs right now. If that means taking out your opponent.
If that means a little contact. And a good serve there by Pierson. And just an in-system play again by Graham Rogers, what they've been doing. For really all of this game, we haven't seen them get shaken like they did in game 1 because they've had that lead where they've just been playing. We haven't seen the bad soft touches or anything like that.
They are absolutely dialed in right now with these serves and setting and hitting.
And that'll take us to game point with Rogers serving. She swings for a low cut serve and doesn't find it. Okay, so I'm up 7 breaks here. You've got to think I'm swinging for the reverse. And we'll see if she does. You think she heard me? She swings. I think she might have gone for the reverse. And a good hit there. A soft touch. Oh, and a flick that Graham can't find.
The idea was there, though, and from game 1, that soft touch made a leap.
Absolutely.
Rogers
Totally
was able
different.
to get that touch and put a set nice and high for Graham to try to get that, and just doesn't connect, and that's okay.
You can't win them all.
Absolutely.
So Foster goes with the on serve on 2. We see a set there from Graham, and Rogers puts that ball away to close out this semis match, sending them to the finals here in this Raleigh event. And what was the biggest thing you noticed between game 1 and game 2 difference?
It looks like Graham Rogers really didn't get shaken after that big lead change.
Yeah.
They got it back, and they wanted to keep it that whole time. I think that they really played their game and knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They put, like, those 1-2-3s were so textbook from them. And it looks like Biggie Smalls just couldn't connect in that second game.
Absolutely. As well as you just have to shout out Rogers just popping off. You know, I think 4 breaks in a row there for her, 3 or 4 breaks, and then Graham gets a break right after that, leading into that nice timeout call. Maybe 1 serve late on that timeout call.
A little bit. And, yeah, coming out of that timeout, it just wasn't what Biggie Smalls really needed. They needed something different. So that just didn't work out in their favor today. But it looks like they will be playing the 3rd place game against Sarah Allen and Sachi Patel. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for watching. We'll be back with more Around Net in just a minute.